The Princess of Wales, her first royal banquet in a year after cancer treatment.
After almost 2 years of uncertainty, health battles, and quiet courage behind palace walls, Princess Catherine finally returned to where she belongs, under the glittering chandeliers of Windsor Castle, wearing a tiara once again. Last night wasn't just another royal engagement. It was a powerful declaration that grace and resilience can overcome life's greatest challenges. Welcome to Royal Folder, where the stories that matter most about the royal family come to life. What happened last evening at Windsor Castle represents so much more than just another royal engagement. It's a story of courage, resilience, and the quiet strength that has made Catherine one of the most admired figures of our time. The significance of her return. Picture this: the medieval grandeur of St. George's Hall, a room steeped in centuries of royal tradition, now shimmering with modern majesty. Golden candlelight flickered across hand-carved oak panels and stained glass windows that once witnessed monarchs past. The 50-meter banquet table stretched endlessly beneath the vaulted ceilings, dressed in gleaming crystal, polished silver, and the finest china, every detail meticulously curated to reflect the power and elegance of the British crown. At the heart of it all stood a moment few expected, but many longed for. After 730 days away from the public gaze, from the glittering stage of diplomacy and tradition, Princess Catherine stepped back into the spotlight. Not with fanfare or flourish, but with quiet strength and timeless grace. Her presence turned whispers into gasps, her smile into a symbol of resilience. Dressed in regal silk, crowned by a tiara that caught the light like a constellation, she was more than a royal guest. She was the centerpiece of a global moment. This wasn't just any state banquet. This was Catherine's reawakening. Her first tiara moment since 2023. Her first time representing the crown at such a level since the quiet battles behind palace doors began. And the symbolism was impossible to ignore. The last time she stood in this hall, she wore the rarely seen Strathmore Rose tiara, paying tribute to tradition during a visit by the South Korean president, a subtle nod to unity, diplomacy, and heritage. Before that, in November 2022, she lit up the royal stage in the Lover's Knot tiara, a piece famously worn by Princess Diana, rich in legacy, love, and bittersweet memory. Now, 2 years later, this moment marked a powerful full circle. But it wasn't just about jewels or gowns. It was about what Catherine represents, a bridge between generations, a beacon of grace under pressure, and a quiet force in a world that often speaks too loudly. Her return wasn't simply ceremonial. It was personal. A statement that healing, though slow, is possible. That even in the harshest storms, light finds a way to return. And for the 160 distinguished guests from every corner of the globe, presidents, diplomats, royals, and statesmen, what they witnessed was more than a banquet. It was history unfolding in real time. The journey behind the glamour. But tonight's appearance carries a weight that goes far beyond royal protocol and diplomatic ceremonies. To truly understand the magnitude of this moment, the journey that brought Catherine to this evening must be remembered. A journey that began in January 2024 with unexpected abdominal surgery, followed by the devastating news in March that she would need preventative chemotherapy. Those who have followed Catherine's story know that she has always been remarkably private about personal challenges. Yet in her own words, she described her recovery as a roller coaster. A phrase that resonated deeply with anyone who has faced their own health battles or supported a loved one through difficult times. Just last week, during a visit to Colchester Hospital, Catherine spoke candidly about cancer's life-changing impact. The vulnerability she showed, the genuine connection she made with patients and their families. It reminded the world why she has become such a beloved figure. She doesn't just wear the title of Princess of Wales. She embodies the compassion and strength the role demands. The diplomatic significance. But the broader significance of last night's gathering stretches far beyond personal triumph. It was a moment steeped in history, diplomacy, and symbolism. This wasn't merely a glittering social affair. It was a state occasion of rare magnitude. In fact, it marked the first state banquet at Windsor Castle since 2014, a decision driven by the ongoing renovations at Buckingham Palace. But the change of venue did nothing to dim the grandeur. It only heightened the sense of reverence, tradition, and renewal. At the heart of it all were the guests of honor, President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron, representing the time-honored alliance between Britain and France. Their presence was more than diplomatic. It was deeply symbolic of friendship forged through centuries of shared history, war and peace, culture and cooperation. And Catherine's role in this event carried more weight than ever before. Her day began early, long before the cameras flashed inside St. George's Hall. Shoulder to shoulder with Prince William, Catherine welcomed the French President and First Lady at RAF Northolt with grace and quiet authority. From that very first moment, it was clear she was not a passive participant. She was a leading figure in one of the most important diplomatic events of the year. The carriage procession that followed, winding its way through cheering crowds, was a royal spectacle in the truest sense. Tradition on display, pageantry at its finest. But beneath the surface, there was something far more personal taking shape. With each wave, each smile, each graceful nod, Catherine was rebuilding a bond, not just with the public, but with her own place in royal life. She attended the private royal luncheon with warmth and ease, stood confidently beside foreign dignitaries, and guided guests through a curated tour of the royal collection, each moment underscoring her steady, assured return. Every step she took that day spoke of quiet strength, of deep preparation, and of a woman fully embracing the role she was always destined to fulfill. This was more than diplomacy. It was a reintroduction, a restoration, a powerful signal that the Princess of Wales is back, not in title alone, but in spirit, presence, and purpose. The emotional impact. King Charles, in his address to the assembled guests, spoke about the importance of unity between the UK and France in facing what he described as a multitude of complex challenges. How fitting that Catherine's return should coincide with this message of resilience and cooperation. Her presence at his side, alongside Queen Camilla and Prince William, sent a powerful message to the world about the stability and continuity of the British monarchy. For those who have watched Catherine's evolution from a young woman in love to a confident future queen, last night felt like witnessing a phoenix rising. The grace with which she has handled her health challenges, the dignity she has maintained while facing public scrutiny, and the strength she has shown in gradually returning to her duties. It all culminated in this single, powerful evening. The symbolic nature of her return. There's something quietly powerful, almost poetic, about seeing Catherine back in her element, standing tall beneath the chandeliers of Windsor Castle, her tiara shimmering like a crown of quiet triumph. It wasn't just a moment of beauty, it was a moment of meaning. Because this wasn't about glamour, though she looked effortlessly regal. It was about what that image represented. Hope restored, strength reclaimed, and the silent resilience that carries us through the darkest seasons. Her presence spoke volumes without a single word. It wasn't just her return to royal life. It was her quiet declaration of purpose. Every graceful gesture, every warm exchange with guests, every poised step into her royal duty reflected a woman who had been tested and endured. This appearance marked far more than recovery. It marked renewal. A gentle but firm reminder that Catherine is not only back, she is ready. Ready to embrace the role she was born to fulfill. Ready to lead, to inspire, and to rise again. Looking forward. As the world reflects on last night's magnificent banquet, it becomes clear that the royal family's greatest strength has always been their ability to adapt, endure, and inspire. Catherine's journey over the past year has been deeply personal, yet it has also been shared with all who care about the monarchy's future. Her return to the state banquet circuit represents more than a return to duty, it's a return to hope. For royal watchers around the world, seeing Catherine smiling, steady, and graceful under the lights of Windsor Castle is a moving testament to her enduring spirit and unwavering dedication to her role as Britain's future queen. What strikes observers most about Catherine's return is how it reminds everyone that true royalty isn't about titles or tiaras. It's about service, resilience, and the quiet courage to show up when it matters most. Last night, she showed up not just for Britain, not just for France, but for all who believe in the power of grace under pressure. Thank you for watching Royal Folder. If Catherine's inspiring journey touched hearts as much as it clearly has around the world, please show support by giving this video a like. The comments below are the perfect place to share thoughts. What did Catherine's return mean to you? And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Royal Folder and ring that notification bell so you never miss the latest royal stories. Until next time, this is Royal Folder, where every royal story matters and every moment of grace deserves to be celebrated.